Hi everyone, welcome back, welcome to my channel. My name is Christina. If you're new here, if you're not, welcome back. But in today's video we are doing a video that you might be able to tell what's in my hands, but I've done this a couple of times on my channel, and we are doing DBC bookmarks to choose my reads. DBC is a shorter thing for Dumb Blonde Club, which is run by the lovely Chloe, and she sells bookish merch and everything. She has bookmarks, Kindle skins, jumpers, tops, tote bags, book baskets. They get mentioned a lot on my channel, but for instance this is one of the Kindle skins that she does sell, which I also have in bookmark form. But anyway, not the point. We are going to choose 3 of DBC bookmarks and we're going to use them to choose my reads. Most of them do have names, but I'm going to go off colour and vibe of the bookmark and do that based on the book. Obviously sometimes I might be able to choose a book that goes with said bookmark, but we will have to see. We are going to choose all 3 bookmarks and we're going to choose all 3 books, and we're going to do it that way just so I know what I'm reading through the week, because it makes my life a little bit easier. But we have all of the bookmarks here that I own. I own quite a few, so let's choose. I'm going to give them a little shuffle, and then I'm going to close my eyes. We're going to pick a bookmark and we'll go from there. I'm very excited. I have taken the tassels off the ones that would have tassels because then I can still use them in the video. Without further ado, let's choose the first bookmark. I'm going to give them a little shuffle just so I don't know what order they're in, I guess. Okay, let's choose our first bookmark. So I'm going to close my eyes. Let's choose a bookmark. This one. We have the bookish bookmark, which this is actually the old version. I do have the newer version in there, but we did pick this one. So this one, we can go for anything. Anything I want. I'll probably try and do one that kind of somewhat matches colour wise. This is the new version and this is the old version of bookish. I very much prefer the new version. Do we switch just because it is the same? No, right, we'll keep this one. Okay, let's see what books I have that we could maybe do this, and I'll come back after I've chosen like 3. Okay, I've chosen 3 options that could go with this bookmark, so let's go. So first of all, I thought maybe we could do Paladin's Grace by T. Kingfisher, because they look quite good together and they do match, so we could do that. There's a theme. These are all kind of purpley because this is purple. And then we also have the Off Limits Royal by Sarah Adams. Again, matches pretty well vibe-wise. And then the final one I've gone with is Hat Trick by Chelsea Curto, which also is purple and kind of matches the purpley vibe. I feel like out of all of these, the Off Limits Rule does kind of match the most with it, personally. So I think maybe we'll go with this. So this is the Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams. In this book, we are following Lucy, and she has hit rock bottom after failing as an independent single mum. She's back living with her older brother. Her 4-year-old son deserves the world, but all she can give him is a spare bedroom. Drew is the sweetest uncle, and some quality time might be exactly what they will need. That is until she meets Cooper, her brother's incredibly hot and incredibly off-limits best friend. Brother's best friend, romance, single mum, sounds exactly up my street. So let's give this a go, and I'm very excited to give Sarah Adams another go because I didn't love her other book that I've read by her. So let's go with that with our bookish bookmark. Okay, let's choose our second bookmark. Hopefully, maybe we'd... Imagine if we chose the bookish bookmark for the second, like the newer one. That would be funny, but I'm gonna go with this one here. Okay, another oldie that we have, the new one. We have the Romantasy bookmark, which is a very cute bookmark, but again, there is a newer version of this bookmark, which was also in here. Again, I do prefer the newer version, but we're choosing all the oldies today. Okay, so, Romantasy, I do kind of know what book I want to go with this one, but again, I'll choose 3 and I'll kind of talk you through why I've chosen each bookmark. Okay, I've grabbed 3 books. Let's talk through them. So the first one is A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain. I mean, it's a romancy bookmark. They look very good together, so we could go with this one. Then I thought The Lies That Summon the Night by Jessica Jodet also goes very well, and I'm pretty sure this is a romancy. And the final one, we could do To Touch a Silent Fury by R.A. Sandpiper, which less fits the bookmark, but it does have dragons on, and there is a dragon there, so I mean, it does fit somewhat well. So out of these 3 options, I think I'm gonna go for A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain. As I'm filming this, we have like a week left of February, and this is one of the books left on my February TBR, which I'm very much trying to finish. So if I pick this, it will be the first book that I read in this video. So yeah, I'm gonna go for A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain for our romancy bookmark, and I think that will be a really nice one. And then this video can have that in there. And the off limits rule is on my March TBR, so because this video is going to be followed over through February and March, why not put a bit of both TBRs in there? But I would still like to get to all of the other books I've mentioned. But let's choose our third and final bookmark. So again, I'm going to give them a little shuffle. Imagine if we got the romancy or the bookish, we could literally just choose from that stack there, which honestly, not mad about. Not mad about one bit. Let's choose our bookmark. I'm going to go with middle. I think this is the middle. And we're going to go for this one here. Okay, well we can actually go for a book that we already mentioned, which is so fun. I think this is the Gothic. I'm pretty sure this is the Gothic bookmark, which is such a cute, good, amazing bookmark. So we have Gothic-y vibes. And honestly, I am gonna choose out of two of the books that I have already spoken about. We have The Lie That Summons the Night, which I mean matches really well. And I don't know why, this gives me kind of a Gothic-y vibe. So we could also do To Touch a Silent Fury. So, we give like, we have so many good we have such good options. Okay, the one that matches better is The Lies That Summon the Night, but I think the one I want to read more is To Touch a Silent Fury. So I'm gonna go for To Touch a Silent Fury by Ari Sandpiper. I'm so excited to read this. This, I don't know a lot about this. I just realised I didn't really tell you what A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly is about either, but I'll actually tell you what they're about when we read them. But I'm very, very excited to read this. This is highly on my anticipated reads. So in the book that goes, and we will be reading this as well. So let's just do a little recap on the three books I'm going to read in the video. So we have The Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams, which we chose the bookish bookmark. Then we have A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain, which we chose the romancy bookmark, and To Touch a Silent Fury by Ari Sandpiper, which we chose the Gothic bookmark. These are all very books that I really want to get to, and also A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly is on my February TBR, which, like I said, as I'm filming this, it is the last week of February, so I'd really like to get to that this week anyway. And then off the Off Limits Rule and To Touch Silent Fury, it's on my March TBR, which is perfect because I'm planning to read this one last out of the books that I want to read by the end of February, and so I'll finish this in February and then we can go into March and read the other two, so that's absolutely perfect. This is such a good TBR, honestly, so excited to read all of these and I cannot wait to read them. Like I said, I will probably I will be starting off with A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain. So in this book we are following half-fate Alyssa, who could have everything literally, since her magic allows her to compel anyone to do her bidding by merely looking into their eyes. But after an accident, she's thrown into the Fey King's dungeon and forced to swear a blood oath to him. 5 years later, she lives amongst humans and has created a life for herself. But the king's promise to call in his debt is looming over her, and when he finally comes to collect her, she is made to infiltrate the human elections to determine whether the current region is involved in the strange happenings in the land of Fae. With the promise of freedom from the king's claws, Alyssa is determined to see through it. Liberty is within reach as long as she can keep the lethal Fae guard watching over her from eliminating her before she unearths the information the king wants. But as she grows closer to the brooding human region and secrets begin to unravel, Alyssa realises greater forces may be at play, and she might stand before the choice between her own freedom and that of a nation. That sounds so good. I want to read it right now. That sounds so good. Oh my god. Okay, yeah. Let's go read A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. Okay, so reading update time. I am now on page 151, which is chapter 25 of A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. To be completely honest with you, I did not like struggle to get into it, but I did kind of struggle to get into it. I started it on Monday night and it's now like Thursday afternoon, and normally like I would think I'd be further in, if not finished it by now, but I do want to crack on and try and get into it a little bit more, maybe get through a good chunk of this tonight. But I am really enjoying it. I thought I'd do an update now because I've made significant progress on A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. So I don't remember what time I spoke to you, but it was not that long ago. But it's now 8:22 p.m. the same day, and I have just over 100 pages left. I'm really enjoying this. The storyline, I'm definitely now invested in the storyline and the characters, and I really want to see where it's going to go. As we all know, fantasy readers, we know the last 100 pages of a fantasy book, everything can change, and I'm literally on the last 100 pages. So I'm gonna finish this now before I go to sleep, and I'll update you on my thoughts tonight. But I thought I'd let you know this is really picked up, and I've ended up really enjoying it. And right now it's like a 4-star, but the ending could change everything. Good morning, it's reading update time. I thought I was going to finish A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly last night, and I did. And I fear I very nearly said, let's not read the other books yet, and let's delay this video and read the rest of the series. I didn't. I was strong, but I very nearly did. I loved the last 100 pages of this book. Amazing. I settled on a 4.25. I really liked it. And so the whole way through this book we have like a love interest, and then we have like her guard basically, and the whole way through I'm like, I don't love this love interest. Like, he just seems a little bit shady, and honestly by the end of it he wasn't really that shady. Her power is, slight spoiler, but her power is that she can manipulate minds. If she looks into the eyes of someone, she can basically go, forget this ever happened, but basically. And her guard obviously knows this, and not once has ever looked her in her eyes. And right, literally like the last like 20 pages of the book, he's like, I can't break the bargain, like I'm gonna have to stay here, like he's ordered me to stay here. And she's like, no, you can do it. And she's like, look me in the eyes, and he's like, I can't. And then she like basically things him that he will break the bargain, the blood oath, and survive. And the first time they lock eyes, he goes, hi, and she goes, hi, and just giggling, kicking my feet. Honestly, absolutely loved it. I cannot wait to read book 2, hence why I very nearly picked up book 2 last night, but I will be picking it up as soon as I'm finished filming this vlog. But seriously, absolutely ended up loving this book and the characters. And also I don't think it took me a long time to get into it. I think I just wasn't reading a lot, so I was reading like a little bit, but like yesterday I read from page 100 to the end of the book, which is 460 pages. So I mean, take that as you will, but I would definitely recommend trying out The Compelling Fate Saga if you want. This is book 1, which is A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly, and I very much want to read book 2 now. But nevertheless, I did end up picking up our next read. So our next read is going to be The Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams. This is an author that I read the cheat sheet back a couple of years ago when I first started reading, and I really did not like that book. I didn't vibe with the writing, the characters, the way the story was at all, which, yeah, obviously that was a couple of years ago. So I have seen a lot of people love Sarah Adams, obviously, and I wanted to give her another go. I'd been thinking about it for a while anyway. When I went to the works the other day, there was 2 books that I wanted that were in the 3 for $7.50 deal, and then I was like, oh, I need another one, and then this was there, and I was like, this is the perfect chance for me to try out a Sarah Adams book. So this is The Off Limits Rule. It's best friend's brother, no, it's brother's best friend, and she's a single parent. But I only started this, like I think I read like a couple of pages last night, and then I've got into it a bit more this morning. I'm now on page 46, which is chapter 5, and so far I am enjoying it. I'm enjoying our characters, but obviously I'm not very far in to be like, oh, I'm obsessed. But I'm having a good time, and I think I will continue to enjoy this unless all of a sudden it goes downhill. But yeah, I'm enjoying our 2 characters, which are Lucy and Cooper, and they've like just met pretty much for the first time. So but that's my little reading update. I'm gonna try and get a bit more into The Off Limits Rule tonight, and then hopefully I can maybe finish it on Saturday or Sunday, because today's Friday, on Saturday or Sunday, and then we can do To Touch a Silent Fury, which I'm also very excited about. so I thought I'd go ahead and give you a bit of a reading update, which is a significant one because last night I did end up finishing The Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams. I did enjoy this. I think I do want to give Sarah Adams another go with some of her newer books, because I did enjoy this and it was a 3-star. I do think I want to read the next book in this series, but yeah, I definitely do want to give her newer books another go, which is quite nice to find, to give an author another go and enjoy it and want to give her, and then now want to read some of her other books. But yeah, I did really enjoy this. I settled on a 3-star rating. It's a good rating obviously, but I enjoyed the way the story went. I enjoyed our characters, I enjoyed the plot. I am happy with how it ended, and it was just exactly what I thought it would be, a fun, easy, quick romance read, and also a read that I kind of need to do to find out whether I want to pick up more of Sarah Adams series. I know one that a lot of people talk about is the When in Rome series by her, and obviously the cheat sheet and the rule book, which I won't be reading the rule book because I really did not like the cheat sheet. I do think I'll probably end up giving the When in Rome series a go, which is very, very exciting. But yeah, hello, it has been a little while since I spoke to you. I think I don't even remember what the last thing I think the last thing I filmed was my thoughts on, I can't even remember the title, The Off Limits Rule. The Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams. I think my last clip was me telling you about that and saying that I was going to start To Touch Silent Fury. It's now been like a week and a half, but I have now started To Touch Silent Fury. I started it on Sunday night and today is Tuesday, and I'm really enjoying it so far. So I'm on page 162, which is the start of part 2, and I wanted to get a decent chunk in so I could give you a bit of a synopsis and what's going on in this book. So in this book we are following Tani, and Tani is the only girl in the thing of the Brotherhood, which these are people that are known to be moon touched. So their hair is white, their eyes are white, but vibe. So she is the only female that is in this thing. She is treated very, very differently, and it is known that she is a beautiful woman. She is targeted by essentially everyone there, apart from this guy Seth. They have to, after I think 20 years, so on there I think that it's the 20th birthday, they have to go and talk to the brothers, essentially the people that work there, the fates. They have to go talk to them, put their hand on a needle so it's like bleed over this needle, answer questions from each of the like people, and they then essentially decide her fate. So we find out that she is put in the marriage fate, which is, no one has been put into this fate for a long time, and it's just obviously thing that she is the one that has been put into this fate. She is the only female. However, in order for them to access their entire power, they have to complete a task in order to do with their fate. So her task, she has to basically marry the winner of this kind of games, which they duel essentially. She has to do this in order to be able to get her full power. So she is from the Touchlands, which basically means when she touches someone, she can sense what they're feeling, if they have ill intentions. So for instance, there's a scene in this book where she is at a market and there's a stall that has drinks, and this guy is trying to give her a drink, and she brushes his hand and she can feel like there's ill intentions towards her and that something might be wrong. So that's kind of the way it kind of is. She can kind of feel what people are feeling, and the rumour is that if she is to complete her fate, she potentially would be able to mind warp people, make people love her, make people not love her, change people's feelings, emotions, and all of that. That's kind of the synopsis of this. I'm really enjoying it. Finally time for me to give you a wrap up on these 3 books. Honestly, I've had such a good time filming this, and even though it took me so blooming long, like I finished A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly on the 28th of February. Today is the 11th of March and I've just finished Touch of Silent Fury. This video took me so long to film, and normally videos don't take me that long, but I did mood read a book in between, to be honest with you, and I've just been taking my time. So let's talk about them. First of all, let's go into A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly by Sophie St. Germain. I have generally thought about this book so much over the past nearly 11 days, I guess. I've thought about this book so much. I cannot wait to pick up book 2. I'm literally going to pick it up probably straight after I film this clip, and I'm going to start that. Her grow as a character, we see her relationships and dynamics with other characters, and it's generally such a good book, and I would highly recommend. This was a 4.25. I absolutely loved it, and obviously we used our romancy bookmark from DBC. Then we read The Off Limits Rule by Sarah Adams. This was a 3-star read. I really enjoyed this. There's nothing really much for me to say on this. This is a single mum's brother's best friend, she's off limits, she shouldn't be with him kind of thing, and I really liked the character development of her and her kind of find herself through this book, and yeah, I really enjoyed this. And in this we used our bookish bookmark. And then To Touch of Silent Fury by R.I. Sandpiper. I loved this book. I feel very similar on it as I do A Tongue So Sweet and Deadly. I could not stop thinking about this book today. I left the house, I had 80 pages left. I couldn't stop thinking about it all day. I read some more on my break. I then had 60 pages left when I got home, and I just sat and read those last, I think it was 60 pages, and oh my god, this book is so good. Again, this is a 4.25, so we've had really good reads in this video, and generally loved the way the story went, our characters, our plot, everything about this book I absolutely loved. And I immediately went onto R.I. Sandpiper's Instagram and socials to see if there is some sort of something saying when book 2 is coming out, which there isn't. This is going to be a duology. This is Bride of Evenfold duology, so I am very much anticipating the second release now, and I cannot wait to meet her at Fiction Fest and get this signed, because the characters, the man in this book, oh, my Kindle full of highlights. And in this book we used our Gothic DBC bookmark. Such a good time reading all of these. So we had a 4.25, a 3-star, and another 4.25, which is a very good rounded little video. We got 2 books off of my March TBR, and obviously we did finish off my February TBR in this video. So these were the books that we read, and obviously going back to the bookmarks, we used the old romancy bookmark, the old bookish bookmark, and the Gothic bookmark. So very happy. Like I said, I do these videos because I think it's really fun to match my book to my bookmark and match whatever, whether it's vibe, colour, anything. I love matching it to my bookmark. I will definitely be doing another one of these at some point because I think it's so fun. But yeah, hope you enjoyed watching. Thank you so much. As always, DBC will be linked in the description so you can check out the bookmarks, the bookish match, and all of that. But I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to see you in my next one. Bye!